Where do you think Mac Jones might get drafted? I don't know. He's going to go in the first round. He's not getting the same sort of recognition that Joe Burrow was. But right now, it's Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence and number one. And we're talking about flavor at this point. And I like the Justin Fields flavor better than I like Sunshine. Right? After that, is Mac Jones a better quarterback than Trey Lance? That's a real question. That's a real question we don't know the answer to. Right? And I've demonstrated this before, but Ben DiNucci played against Trey Lance in a national championship game in January, was drafted in the 7th round in April, and got hammered against Philadelphia in October. No, November. In November. Like, the margins are really that thin. So I'm not prepared to say that Mac Jones is even better quarterback than Trey Lance. And y'all already know, I don't think that Trey Lance is the first half of the draft kind of quarterback. I just don't see it. You know, and as the draft order gets set, we'll see. You know, Kyle Trask is also in that Mac Jones category. Look, he's been really good this year. He was pretty decent last year. But the thing that always bothers me is that he didn't beat out Felipe Franks to start the 2019 season. And he could never beat out De'Aaron King at Manville to start in high school. And one of the rules that I tell all the kids that want to be recruited is you got to be the best player on your high school football team. I don't care if De'Aaron King is on your high school football team. You need to find a way to be playing football and demonstrate that you're the best athlete on your football team. Now, De'Aaron King is also cold, right? But would you put De'Aaron King in the first round ahead of Kyle Trask? You would if he played at Florida. That's my point. So much of this conversation is having to do with where these dudes played and not the players they are. Because 2 years ago, we're talking about De'Aaron King having 3,000, 1,000 a year and putting up 50 touchdowns at Houston. 50 touchdowns. He's leading a one-loss Miami team. They're 6-1. Their one loss is to the national runner-up and the lord of the ACC, Clemson. Like, Miami is there. But y'all are talking about Kyle Trask in a way that makes me uncomfortable. Because if you watch De'Aaron King play football, you'll have De'Aaron King be your quarterback before you pick Kyle Trask. You want the best athlete available playing quarterback. Especially if that dude's accurate throwing the football. Nah, man, like that's the thing where I'm getting at with Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Is he a better quarterback? I don't think so, but I don't know. Let me see. Why did I comment and I'm 15 minutes behind the video? I don't know. Why did you? See, Parsons is a pass rusher, dog. Am I really going to have to walk this out for people that don't know? Okay. All right. Micah Parsons is 6'3", 245 pounds. For starters. Okay? Micah Parsons had 191 tackles over 2 seasons. I get that. He also had 6.5 sacks and 19 tackles for loss. He is not a linebacker in the way that Kenneth Murray is a linebacker. He is a 3-4 outside backer. That's what he is. He is a pass rusher. He is a stand-up 9. He is not a middle of the defense, read keys, go to flow, and fill. That's not who he is. He is screaming off the edge and destroying your quarterback. He is blowing up your running back. He is running through your left tackle into the backfield. That's what he is. Not a linebacker. He's a pass rusher. Somebody in here going to be like, he didn't say Devontae Smith when he's reading off these names. You're right, I didn't. What else we got in here? All Haskins did at Ohio State was throw crossing routes. I mean, I also did not tell y'all to draft Dwayne Haskins in the first round. I did not tell you to do that. I don't know who y'all were listening to, but like, if you see the Dwayne Haskins experience as an harbinger for the Kyle Trask, Mac Jones experience, I would say that we think alike. Just gonna throw that. Let's see. Dudes be in the chat quite literally looking up stats to drop them in here. Okay. Ohio State defense ain't looking very strong. Secondary ain't looking very strong. I still love those linebackers. I love those linebackers, man. I wish they could figure it out. Because, like, Baron Browning, Tuff Borland, Pete Werner. I mean, it ain't exactly, Brian Cushman, Clay Matthews, and Ray Malaluga, but it's close. It's close. Like, it's the last time that I've learned all three linebackers in, like, a 4-3 scheme in years. In years, because there's that cold. Let's see. Is Mac Jones actually throwing dimes, or is he throwing to Devontae Smith, John Mechie, Slade Bolden? Like, is that what's happening? Just, Amari Cooper was catching passes from A.J. McCarron. Which one of those guys is the better NFL player? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Let me see. Let's see what else we got in here. Trying to get us toward the end of this. What do you think about the Vols QB situation? I think Harrison Bailey needs to get out there and make it happen. It's kind of like the Kirby Smart situation, but you also got Chaney calling the offense, right? I'm not a big Chaney fan. If Quarantano wants him to be there, or he wants him to be his starting quarterback, then let it be. Did you see the kind of early production that Herbert in his first year? Yeah, same kind of early production Cam Newton had. None of y'all like him neither. Right? I love Cam Newton, but every time y'all want to talk about Herbert, the dudes that he's actually throwing stats with is Cam Newton. Same people in this chat can't stand Cam Newton. Yeah, so I'm going to need every time you say Justin Herbert's name this year to throw Cam Newton's name up there in front of it. Because it's really talking about, in the same way that people talk about Henry Aaron, and you always have this trump card that's called Willie Mays. That's what it is. Cam Newton is Willie Mays in this argument. Justin Herbert is Henry Aaron in this argument. Both of them might actually end up wearing gold jackets. But don't get it twisted. He is following in the footsteps of one Cam Newton, not the other way around. Keep it 100. Let's see. How do you think about Zach Wilson? I don't. Ty Detmer. That's what I think. Goodness me. See. Simple game plan, yada yada. Hey, RJ, do you look at Mac Jones as an outside pocket passer? Like, if team pressures him a lot, is he gonna fold? First, get past the offensive line, so we don't really know. But if you can't beat the blitz, you're not gonna make it in the NFL. Thank God the Dolphins stood clear of that. Dolphins look pretty smart with Tua Tagovailoa right now. They look pretty smart. Let me see. My Seminoles look dreadful. Did you hear about Terry and Blackman leaving the program? Yeah. I mean, Mike Norvell's first year has not been a banner one. Not been a banner one. Plus, you put James Blackman on the bench and you put out a dude that was rushing for more yardage than he was throwing for and had a bad arm in your biggest upset win of the game, or of the season, excuse me. I can see that. That makes sense to me. All the Seminoles jumping off the Titanic. LMAO. Yeah, that's what it is. Florida State going to be bad for another few years. Florida versus Miami in the Orange Bowl. No. I would love to see it, but no. You know why? Because the loser of the ACC championship game is going to the Orange Bowl. That's why. You're looking at Clemson versus versus Florida, right? That's what you're looking at. You can't get Florida and Miami in the Orange Bowl because they're both coming out of the ACC, dog. Like, come on now. Think about that. Cam and Deshaun are the best quarterbacks I've seen in 10 years. After that, Kyler and Tua. Kyler's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, dog. It's not close. Kyler's a better everything than everybody. If we're talking about athleticism, we're talking about quarterback play, we're talking about whatever it is. I know that there are Houston Texans fans that be like, yo, man, Deshaun Watson been working without an offensive line for like 3 years. Yeah, he also hold the ball, right? That was my knock against Kyler last year as a rookie. He held the ball. Deshaun Watson still holding the ball 3 years later. Just got his extension. So I'm going to need him to do a little bit more. Do you think Baylor had higher expectations for this year? I hope not. You got a brand new coaching staff. You got Charlie Brewer on his 15th concussion. I hope not. You lost your entire defense. I hope not. You lost Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. I hope not. Is Matt Campbell worth the hype? Asking for a Michigan fan. Yeah. Matt Campbell is 100% worth the hype. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you a story about Matt Campbell to end this on. So, Matt Campbell, Alex Grinch, and Jason Candle, who coaches Toledo, all went to Mount Union back when Mount Union was unstoppable. Something like 100 straight wins without a loss. Won national championships. Coming out of Massillon, Ohio, Matt Campbell was a highly regarded defensive end. Ends up at Pittsburgh. Didn't like it after the first year. Driving home, he passes a bunch of dudes in gray t-shirts and shorts that are jogging along the highway. They got Mount Union football on those t-shirts. And he decided after watching that, he wanted to be a part of whatever it is they got going on. So he went from playing D1 to playing D3, turns himself into an All-American, but not before having a conversation with Larry Karras about what it meant to play at Mount Union. Larry Karras said, and this is a recruiting pitch to most dudes, make a fist with your hand. Take that fist, drive it into the concrete below, and grind your fist against it. If you can imagine doing that, you can play football for me. That is the man that molded Alex Grinch into a safety, Matt Campbell into an All-American defensive end, and turned out Jason Candle at Toledo. Matt Campbell does not suffer fools. Matt Campbell is here to win. Matt Campbell is here for fundamentals. If Michigan decided to get up off of Harbaugh and they want to take a swipe at Luke Fickell, I wouldn't blame them. But Matt Campbell is going to end up playing or coaching at a big Power 5 football program sooner rather than later. I don't give a damn what the buyout is, because that man is looking to get W's, and that man is looking to knock off legends. Okay? He's doing stuff at Iowa State they have never done. Okay? He's the first head coach in Iowa State history to beat every single team in the Big 12 Conference. He took the number 2 player in Kansas, the best running back in Kansas, and has turned him into a Doak Walker Award finalist named Breece Hall. Breece Hall is in the same stratosphere as Najee Harris running the football. Breece Hall is doing more running the football at Iowa State than Travis Etienne at Clemson. That's what Matt Campbell has done in a very short amount of time. Keep that in the back of your head as we continue to talk about Matt Campbell. Big Country, I talked about Arkansas earlier in the show. And you know what? If you didn't catch the show, subscribe to the podcast, the RJ Young Show podcast. There's a link in the description below where you can find it, wherever it is you get your podcast. I would appreciate it if you leave a 5-star review. Trying to charge toward 300 ratings over there on the RJ Young Show podcast. I enjoy it. It's fun. I also enjoy these live streams. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you are here, please hit the like button. My man Doc Winston O'Boogie is always trying to get y'all to hit that like button. I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. All right? You know what I mean? All right. That is it for me. Doses.